Hey, MCE crew, I'm sending this message out to Elizabeth Warren. And Warren, I know you're watching this. What I want to say to you is that it's pretty darn disgusting, this little feud that you've initiated with Elon Musk. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that Elon Musk is a producer. He really seems like everything that Elizabeth Warren would want in American, someone who is producing an item, that being the Tesla vehicle, that is in line with the whole green revolution. She's for that. But for some strange reason, this woman, Elizabeth Warren, has chosen to pick a fight with Elon Musk, talking about he's a freeloader. Now, let's get into the hypocrisy of that. And why do you need to understand this? Because I want you to understand what these politicians are, okay? They're actually anti-business growth. They don't really want progress. They call themselves progressives. That's a joke. Now, here this woman is attacking Elon Musk for being a freeloader when this guy's going to pay $13 billion in taxes this year. Attacking Elon Musk as a freeloader when he has gone out and produced a rocket system, a system of equipment that's used by NASA that has actually brought down the price of going into space and returned America to restored America's ability to launch our own astronauts into space. We had to rely on the Russians for the past, decade or so since we retired the space shuttle. It might have been a little under a decade, but you get the point. So here's a woman attacking someone who is actively producing, calling him a freeloader, when this man has basically set his mind to change the world. And he has done that. And look, I don't own any Tesla shares. Okay, I don't own a Tesla. But I do recognize that he's done some extraordinary things. And as an entrepreneur, I certainly pay a lot of attention to Elon Musk because he's a visionary. Okay, a lot of people don't like him for whatever reason. And I guess that's their right. But the man has produced, he's not talking. You've seen SpaceX vehicles go into outer space. You've seen them return to Earth. Okay, the boosters. You've seen that return to the Earth and land like something out of a sci-fi movie. He's brought these astronauts back safely. That actually happens. This isn't talk. Okay. Every time I leave the house and get on the road, I see a lot of Teslas out there. This isn't talk. This is something that is being actively produced. All right. This man's not a freeloader, and he deserves every dime. If you can produce something that the masses want, then you should be compensated for that. Just like I always say about the athletes, the pro athletes. A lot of people say, oh, he's making all that money for dunking a basketball. Hey, if he can find somebody that's going to pay him to do it, more power to him. Okay, I'm all for it. If you have a skill that is sought after, that's in demand, if you have a product or service that you can offer that's in demand, go for it. Now let's talk about old Liz Warren. What is she? She's the freeloader. This woman is projecting like crazy. First of all, let's talk about brass tacks. This is the woman that pretended to be an Indian, okay? Now I've heard several Native Americans tell me that, or Indians rather, that they don't like the term Native American because they say that to put the American piece on it kind of, ignores the fact that their ancestors were here before it was called America. So I guess they have a point. But in any event, this woman pretended to be a minority in order to gain favor in her career. Okay? Now, look, I might be behind the times. I'm no genealogist, and I certainly don't know everything. But I always found it strange that this was the only blonde-haired, blue-eyed Indian I'd ever seen. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I need to get out more. But this woman lied for decades about this in order to boost her career. And what does she do? What does she actually produce? Well, she's a college professor. And then she went on to be a a politician. And look, I've got no beef with college professors per se. One of my best friends is a college professor. However, you have heard me say that there are certain degrees that are more important than others. All right. Um, and then there are some occupations that, for me, like an airline pilot, okay, that trumps your sociology degree every day of the week. And when I look at college, I look at it from a business standpoint. Uh, you're paying for a credential that's going to allow you to do what? To just hang something up on the wall and brag to family members about it? Or is it going to help you recoup whatever money you put out to obtain it and then make more? Okay. So, I'm not going to give her any laurels for being a college professor. Whoop-de-doo, lady. But it's just emblematic of the state of America today. We're not celebrating the producers. America has this thing where we build people up to tear them down. Negative energy, man. I don't subscribe to that at all. If someone, again, can produce a product or service that's sought after, go for it. Okay. I haven't bought a Tesla because I'm frugal. I got cars that already work. So maybe when I need a new car in 10 years, half joking, then maybe I'll take a look at a Tesla. But we've got to get, as a country, I know that if you're consuming this content, I'm not talking about you, but as a country, we've got to get out of this thing. I put that Peter Thiel video up where we were talking about how Peter Thiel used the IRA, Roth IRA, to make investing within it. He made billions of dollars. And there were some people, the underwhelming minority, but in the comments of that, there were some people that were angry at him for that. Okay. And I've never understood that. Why don't you just go and try to duplicate his success? They had all of these excuses about, well, why he wasn't playing fair. He played by the rules. Let me tell you about somebody else who's playing by the rules. Kenneth Copeland. Now, he's a televangelist. And look, I'll tell you right now, I don't get televangelism, okay? I personally don't see it as something that is, legit. But, hey, this is America, and people have a right to worship as they see fit. And Copeland certainly has a right to put out content that, any content he wants. And his content is apparently consumed by a lot of people because this is a very wealthy man. And so now some people are complaining that old Kenneth Copeland is getting unfair treatment by the tax authorities. Well, I say I disagree. And look, I'm no fan of this guy, Kenneth Copeland. To me, he's up there. He's one of the worst of the bunch when you talk about these televangelists. Creflo Dollar. I've never met anyone in my life named Dollar. I think Creflo is telling you exactly what he's all about. And hey, again, if he's not being surreptitious, he's selling you salvation. And if you buy into it, then, that's on you. You have every right to do that. But people are mad. Some people are mad at Copeland because they're saying that he lives on a $7 million estate tax-free.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
And so when you read through the article, I'll post it, you begin to see that Copeland is following the rules, okay? Copeland has a team of accountants, tax attorneys that have structured all of this based on the rules. Considered the wealthiest pastor in America with an alleged estimated net worth of $760 million, televangelist Kenneth Copeland is in hot water after an extensive investigation by the Houston Chronicle revealed how he has been living in a tax-free mega mansion worth $7 million and paid for by the Texas taxpayers for years. First of all, that's and I find myself in a strange position of having to almost defend Copeland. But look, I'm fair, okay? I don't have to like you in order to be fair to you. It says he's in hot water. With who? The Houston Chronicle. Not with the IRS or the FBI, with some rinky-dink newspaper. Okay? So from the onset, you see this. It's not going to have a lot of legitimacy because, again, we're relying on the media. And one thing we know, if you're in one of these newsrooms, chances are you don't know a damn thing about personal finances, let alone a tax bill that could potentially be in the millions of dollars. The 85-year-old pastor's house spans 18,000 square feet and is made up of 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, located on an exclusive lake community outside Fort Worth. The luxury pad, Copeland's primary residence, is situated on 1 acre and surrounded by a 24-acre lakefront tract. All right, so the dispute here has to do with the fact that the property tax is assessed at $125,000. That's what they have to pay annually. But they're saying that, it's assessed at $125,000, which makes them liable for $3,000 a year in property taxes on this $7 million home. And people are pissed off about it. And when I say people, I mean the Houston Chronicle and some guy, let's see, Copeland said his wife told him to build a house, and she saw it as a prophecy. And he said that when people ride by the house, he wants them to know that God told him to do it, and you can know that God exists because Kenneth Copeland has a nice house.
I love your eyes.
Okay, Pete Evans is the president of the religious accountability organization Trinity Foundation, and he found fault with Copeland's church and its use of the tax break. Well, what you need to do, sir, is you probably need to go and write your city council person or your state legislator and get the rule changed, or try to at least. Why are you mad at Kenneth Copeland? Because he's actually taking advantage of the law. Okay? This guy says, the law was never intended to give breaks to millionaires and multimillionaires. You make a mockery of the law itself. Okay, so run for office, dude. Change it. You can do that. You can strive for that. Might not work. But I say you'd have to be a fool to have some sort of law out there that allows you to save money on your taxes and not use it. Especially when we got politicians like Elizabeth Warren, ungrateful, freeloading Elizabeth Warren, running around criticizing Elon Musk when he pays $13 billion in taxes. Okay? So they're never going to be satisfied. So if the politicians, have crafted rules and there are laws that allow you to save on your taxes, then that's exactly what you need to do. You need to, especially if you have a business. If you're a W-2 employee, you're very limited in the amount of ways or methods that you have available to you to save on taxes, but there are some. If you really want to find out exactly how to do that, you need to sit down with a CPA and research it, okay? If you're a business owner, then there are certainly more avenues open to you to be able to save money on your taxes and lower that tax debt. And if you're a business owner, what you need to have is you need to have a team, tax attorney, CPA, and guess what? It might not be cheap. Somebody asked me the other day. They said I was consulting them on creating their business entity, and I gave them that advice. I said, what you need to do is you need to get an accounting firm of experts, and I gave them a suggestion. And they said, well, how much are these people? How much are they going to cost me? I said, they are going to cost you something that is commensurate with a person that's running a successful business. Okay? So, you can't look at that kind of representation and try to get it on the cheap. The tax code is voluminous and you need experts. So you can't cut corners when it comes to that. Okay. You have to really get some qualified experts on your team. So do that. Go out and get the experts to consult you on all of the legal ways that exist for you to lower your tax bill, because Elizabeth Warren is not the only ungrateful SOB in the Congress who doesn't give a damn how much money you pay. She's still going to think of you as a freeloader, okay? When this woman she's doing nothing at all to make anyone's life better. She has never produced anything, and she never will. But hot air, okay, that's it. She's doing more harm to the environment than anything you could do in a lifetime. She's doing more harm to it by just opening her fat mouth and spouting off and indicting the producers of this world, like you, like me, like Elon Musk. Okay? So that's all for now, guys. I'll talk to you soon.